Hey, I'm gonna be reviewing the 1981 Werewolf movie, an American Werewolf in London. It's directed by John Landis, who also directed The Blues Brothers and uh a segment in the movie Twilight Zone the movie. He also directed other films. I just can't think of them right now. I think he did Animal House, I believe. Uh, which is kind of weird how he went from comedies to a horror film, but this is more of a horror comedy than anything, which I can't really tell the comedy aspects of it. But anyways, this is one of the more popular horror films, like in werewolf films, if you want to ask someone, oh, what's your favorite werewolf film? This would probably be on top of their list. Sorry. Along probably with the Howling or the original Wolfman. Um, this one is about two young men who go backpacking in England, and uh they go to this bar or pub or tavern, whatever you want to call it, called the Slaughter Lamb, and they see like it's kind of weird in there. There's like a big pentagram on the wall, and like they're talking about werewolves and stuff in there. And the guys think it's funny, they think it's a joke, because they don't believe in that stuff. And the guys, because there's a full moon out, and the people in there are like, whoa, I'm just gonna tell you, like, you better be careful and what you're doing walking around at night, and don't go into the moors, which is like a marshy, it's kind of like a swamp land. But they go on their trip, or they continue going, going backpacking, I guess they're on a trip, and they end up in the moors, and they are viciously attacked by a wolf, and the one friend dies, and the other one is injured, and the one who's still alive, of course, he starts having weird visions and dreams, and he keeps seeing his dead friend come back, telling him what's going, basically leaving cryptic messages about what's going to happen to him. That, yeah, you're going to turn into a werewolf, and the only way you're going to escape this is if you kill yourself. Yeah, it's a it's a pretty good. Basically, that's what the gist of it is, and of course, he does turn into a werewolf, because that's what leads into the. This movie has an infamous werewolf transformation scene, and I won't tell you the ending. Most people already have seen this movie, so they probably know how it ends. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this movie is one of the most popular horror movies and one of the most well-known werewolf movies. This came out the same year as The Howling and Wolfen, which I might review Wolfen if you want me to. I didn't really like it that much, but I will review it. Um, and of course, out of the two, this one's popular, and The Howling for their transformation scenes. And plus they're both horror comedies. But yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of this movie, and I know people think that's weird. I mean, I like the werewolf transformation. I kind of like the story. I don't know why it doesn't resonate with me like the Howling did. I love the Howling. Maybe because I love the original Wolfman, and there's a lot of references to that movie in there in the Howling, so that's probably why I put it up on a higher pedestal. But I'm not saying this movie's bad. It's just not my favorite. But there's some cool scenes, some kind of weird scenes too. There's a scene where he has a dream of, like, I guess when he was younger. Well, it wasn't really. He's like the same age in the dream, but he's at his family's house, and they're eating dinner, and these like creatures come in dressed up as Nazis, and they start like shooting people, shooting his family and him, and like, you know, they put knife up to his neck and he wakes up. It was just like, what the hell is that? And then there's just another weird dream where he's in a hospital bed and he's sleeping and he's walking around in the woods. I think he's walking around the woods naked, and like a nurse comes up and touches him, and like his face changes and it looks like a very kind of like a vampire look. Like his eyes are all black and he has like a white face, and it was really weird looking. Uh, of course, the big transformation scene which looks very, very painful because, like, you know, you can hear bones are extending, you can hear them cracking, and you know, it looks like he's in pain because, like, the bones are extending, and, you know, he's growing fur. It's a very painful scene to watch. And I remember a few years ago when I went to Halloween Horror Nights, or I think this was no, Universal Studios. It wasn't on Halloween Horror Nights though. It wasn't on Halloween Horror Nights, but they had this thing. It's called the horror makeup show, and they show you how they did that scene, and it was pretty cool. Also, I did a few years ago a Halloween Horror Nights. I forgot which year it was. It might have been 2014. They had an American Werewolf in London house, and it was really cool. Like, they had all the major scenes from it, which I forgot to mention, like the werewolf in the subway station, or I guess the English call it the metro, and that was really cool. And that's also the creepiest scene in the movie, because like you just see a guy walking alone up the stairs, and then you see like the werewolf's paws and stuff walking, and all you hear is like, you know, padding and stuff. It was a really creepy scene. There's also a scene where near the ending where the main character goes into a movie theater and they're watching a porno, and he's watching it, and then the werewolf, or not the werewolf, his dead friend comes back and starts telling him what's going on, and he turns into the werewolf and he attacks everyone in this movie theater, in which they had that part in the haunted house too. And yeah, the makeup effects on the dead friend too is pretty creepy looking, like, cause he got torn up, cause he got attacked by a werewolf and his face got torn up and there's like a big claw mark in his face, and it's like meat hanging off and stuff. Is really nasty looking. And yeah, as I was saying though, the ending is very depressing if you watch it, and I know some people think it's funny because of how it's edited, but because what she's talking to is it does look pretty funny, but it does end on a very depressing note. But yeah, that's my review for American Werewolf in London. I know that it wasn't much. You know, I don't really know what to say. Can't really go into detail with it. I forgot to mention though, the main actor, the one in the red, John, I think his name's John Naughton. He did a Dr. Pepper commercial before he made this movie, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, that's my review. Catch you later.